Hello, friends. It is I, host Eric, and tonight I present to you hidden secret mysteries of the INFJ. The INFJ personality type, or as socionics calls them, the IEI personality type, the intuitive, ethical introvert. Uh, well, we know about this type that they have a bit of a reputation for being the guy who's sitting on top of the mountain, to whom people climb up and they go, "What does it all mean?" And the guy goes, "The answer is already within you." And then the climber goes, "Ah, that was so satisfying an answer. Totally worth a climb." Anyhow, to break them down, they go like this: introverted intuition, extroverted feeling, introverted thinking, extroverted sensing. They're like an INFJ in that they've got FETI, and they're like an INTJ in that they got NISC in the dominant and fourth slots. A lot of people understand the INFJ reasonably well, but few people have access to hidden secrets of mysterious INFJ behavior like I do. Why do I have access to it? Well, because why? I'm super good at this stuff. That's why. What are other hidden secrets? Let's find out. Okay. Thanks, baby cake. Number one in secret of the INFJ personality type. Time inflexible. What? NI, though, it's a time function. It is all about the intuition of time, the way things change over time, systems, and knowing what the right action to take in this complex system as it's going to evolve, yada, yada, yada. Well, so why would I say that INFJs are time inflexible? They're time inflexible because there are two ways that they manifest. First of all, primarily, they're going to manifest the metaphysical aspect of NI, which is the metaphysical epistemology function. This means they're going to understand singular holistic truths about such matters as ethics, art, music, social deftness, and a lot of other possible things that go along with knowing what's correct in a variety of contexts beyond or before any explanation occurs. It's worth noting that NI is pre-creational, which is to say, it's about those truths that exist prior to any creational behavior on the part of the agent. The agent processes those holistic truths as parts of himself. The reason they're time inflexible is because, number one, NI is almost useless in its physical aspect because very rarely do we need to take complex sets of evasive physical actions in the moment to survive. I mean, maybe it happens more often than we know because we may be using introverted intuition and making adjustments that seem like reflex to an NI ignorer like me. Regardless, let's not go down that path. Let's get back on track as to where this hidden secret mystery is, the time and flexibility, where it comes from. Because INFJ prioritizes this rightness of static instances of a complex system. Hello. Complex system, static instances of a complex system, it necessarily wants to have systems that are closed. Okay, so what this means is in order for an NI-DOM to function well, using the metaphysical aspect of their metaphysical function, especially in conjunction with FE, which is objective, then they need to have their metaphysics stay put. They need in static statuses. And in order to do that, they need the systems to be approximations of closed systems that are approximations of the actual open chaotic systems that tend to dominate most human engagement with one another and conscious activity in general. So, what happens then? How do you encounter an INFJ's time and flexibility? Well, it boils down to blowing up the labyrinth. So, the INFJ may go, I know that this pathway down this labyrinth is no good. I can extrapolate out through time and see how the system plays out, and you're gonna get a negative points on this. You're gonna get bad FE. People are gonna hate you. They're gonna think blah 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 blah. Blowing up the labyrinth means meting up and saying let's attack the closed system itself by saying, well, let's critique this system that says we need to position things in the way that normally one would do to elicit certain responses. If I critique that instead of even actually trying to elicit any particular response by the positioning itself, shift the conversation over to the discursive elements and why it is that one approach is preferable to the other, well, then all of a sudden I've kind of blown up the labyrinth. So INFJs don't account for open systems in that regard, and that's why they're time inflexible. That's the first secret of them. Okay? First secret of them. The second secret of them is they're smarter than you think. Okay, now, first of all, let me say this. The way it works is this. At first, you think, oh my god, INFJs are so smart. Then you think, oh, they're not really that smart. Then you think, oh my god, they're so much smarter than I thought. They're actually quite smart. And they're quite smart in a number of different ways. But the reason why it seems kind of like they're not is, number one, they have this whole questioning thing going on. Most of them do. They ask a lot of questions. They ask a lot of questions that serve a dual purpose. One of them being TI, informational, getting things consistent, whatever. The second one being FE, like, let's draw out of the other person something that they know a lot about and that they're good at talking about, because that will make them feel good about themselves and they'll want to be around me again, the INFJ. Okay, so then for those reasons you might think, well, that's kind of a shallow sort of smartness. They're not really caring about the blah 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 blah. It doesn't work like that. The third slot TI is a funny thing. Third slot TI is necessarily going to be metaphysical according to my current understanding of the model. And ISFJs also has third. Kimberly has third slot TI too. You have 8th slot TI. Better than 7th, Katie. Better than 7th. Anyway, so third slot TI is what I consider to be the currency slot. So basically, at the end of the day, I might battle it out in a game of TI, but I always check back with the FE League to make sure that my game results counted and that they were of any value. Same corollary for the INFJ with the third slot TI. They may play a lot of FE, but it's in the service ultimately of creating a consistent framework for abstraction and a consistent framework for aesthetics and a consistent framework for their own life. That's their hidden agenda, according to socionics, and it's why they're so smart. Now, note, ISFJ's TI in the third slot plays out similarly but differently. They don't tend to direct their TI at the abstractions and in the ideation capacity that the INFJ does, because the INFJ is by nature a metaphysical epistemologist, whereas the ISFJ by nature is a physical epistemologist. And as a consequence, if the INFJ is naturally going to sound smarter, or they're going to sound they're going to talk more smarty pants stuff, like this kind of stuff, and the ISFJ is going to be more concrete and apply their introverted thinking to practical matters and also to matters of, well, I mean, I've noticed the ISFJ, the TI, it seeks consistency, it notes inconsistencies, it checks back again later to see if things get resolved, and it changes its explanation accordingly. The thing that I don't quite get about ISFJs in general is how they just sort of then they stop. So they go like, okay, well that's figured out and that's resolved, and I put it away into my SI physical epistemology where it's nice and soundly known, and there's no reason to sit there and ideate about it any further. Well, see, that's what's intriguing about them because I can't stop ideating, and man, etc. All right, so that was the second one. Is that they're smarter, actually smarter than you think, even after you've gone through the whole. Well, I used to think, but then I thought, but now I think. They actually are really quite smart. INFJs are. They can be pretty badass. All right, and the third and final hidden secret mystery of the INFJ is they're super vain about like fancy cars and stupid shit like that. They hide it, sort of. Okay, so, but they'll have. Well, let me use my friend Corey for example. He doesn't have like a Lexus or BMW or those kind of fancies. He has some other kind of fancy. It's special snowflake fancy, and what kind of fancy is it? It's like $1,000 shirt. That's a shirt that was worn by some rappers in some 1984 video, and it's like the incredible rap collector's item, but it's really obscure too. So you have to be super, super cool to see him wearing that shirt and go, oh my God! Right? So, that's INFJ vanity. And they do like to spend a lot of money. INFJs are a bit of spendthrifts because they want to look nice, or they want to make the impression they want to make, and they want to utilize clothing and cars and other purchases and things like that to the full extent of their FP ability, which is good because with mostly closed systems such as consumerism, well, that's going to work. They're going to be right all the time, and they're going to play the thing beautifully. Anyway, INFJs, you aren't fooling me though, because you know who else is smarter than you think? ENTPs. Well, some of them. Thanks for watching Talking Food, people. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese, and I'm going to make a video like this every time Eric Thor makes a video like this. My videos are better than yours. Okay, it's bad FP. I can see Kim just cringing back there. I can't even see her. I can just feel it. I can feel her cringing.
About what?
Katie doesn't give a fuck.
Wait, what? I'm gonna cringe at some point in time and put it away.
Cringe harder.